Okay, this is New York pre-FOMC. What's going on, everybody? We're talking about the gold um, current price action. What's going on, Lisa? Another push down before the push up. Yeah. So what I found interesting, which I was paying attention to, was this level right here, 38.91. Reason why is there was this imbalance candle here, and I also saw that there was potential for price um to buy it, but I didn't know like how they were going to really do it. I wanted to see a retest, which happened here in Asia. Okay, so when the market bounces off 4 hour structure, it gives more of a confirmation. But when the market comes back to retest that 4 hour structure, it makes it even stronger and it confirms um, direction to the upside. So a couple people here that I've had conversations with, when they were asking me, for example, Wishni, when you asked me, hey, how do we anticipate a reversal? And I'm like, notice every time the market wants to give a stronger push, they retest an area twice, either on two separate days or two separate sessions. We saw it here, Wednesday, October 29th, Thursday, October 23rd. That's why I always would tell you guys there's power and price, retesting an area twice. It's just like when the witch from was it Oz just clicks the boot and she out. You know what I mean? So it always happens, which gets us to understand that it doesn't just need price does not just need one day to do what it is. I'm unavailable after 2 on continue with statement. The coffee around 9 and 10 a.m. Tomorrow at 9 and 10 a.m. Sorry, guys. Friday, October 17th, Monday the 20th. We remember when price bought up here, could not break it. Then we saw this nasty sell. But two separate days, retesting the area twice. Okay. That's very, very important. That's how I usually get more confirmation out of the previous day retest. So on a 4 hour time frame, if I'm seeing something like that, my stop loss is going above the 4 hour time frame. Do I need to come down a few time frames? Sure, for precision, but once I start to peep that this is what's going on, that only makes the lower time frames a lot more sexier and attractive for me to decide whether I want to take a trade or not. Now, speaking in hindsight, I didn't expect price to actually stop buying up here. I thought they would at least break it, but they didn't. However, oh, did I say if let's say, did you say you let retest on the 4 hour twice for strong confirmation? Absolutely. 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 So then on the lower time frame, for example, if I'm coming from the 4 hour, I can drop down to the 1 hour and the 15 just so I can see how structure is retesting within the session, right? But a break and retest, that's going to do it for me every time, which is why I also told you guys, notice how like if I don't know where the direction is really heading, I'll be like, I'll need London session to confirm to me what I'm looking for. Why? Because by London session, not only are we gonna have um a retest, for example, in Asia, followed by a break and retest in London. Now I know for sure this is where we heading. That's why I can't rely on just answering questions at times off of just a few hours of price action in one session alone. You get it? Because I'm gonna need it to connect the dots. Sunday, I'm like, this is really starting to look like it's gonna sell. But I'll need London session to confirm that to me. Okay. Asia, I mean Friday, price bounce off this area. Okay, cool. Sunday, we was doing our webinar around this time. But boom, by London, we see that price. broke the structure, pulled back in, broke the structure again, 4 or 5 in the morning, New York by 9, 10. We took that sell, did we not? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And we caught over 500 pips off that. So that's why it's important to understand the session correlations and the time frame correlations to give us good confirmation on structure. All right. Did that make sense for everybody here? Let's do it. Look. Okay, so for today's session, obviously it's New York. It's 9:16 in the morning. We got to look for two things. Where is London? The market was here around 1 in the morning, broke structure. So this is more like a looking for London lows here is tough, but this is a break of structure. So the retracement can happen. Um, if we're really buying, we could see a retracement pull back in, maybe back into this area where there was resistance. Okay. We could see a pullback. Now, if this is what it's looking like, then maybe for the rest of the weekend, even next week, we could start rallying up. But it's all going to be about whether they respect this range here. Okay, so I'm all set, waiting to see what happens from here. All right, we took Monday's highs here. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we could see a retracement. All right. So this is so far how things are looking. Not taking a trade yet, but at least we're aware of the potentials. What's up with this dude, bro? All right, we're gonna take a look at US30. Haven't really gotten a chance to trade US30 to be honest. All I know is every time price keeps retracing, it's retracing super early in the morning. And then the last time I'll see it, it'll be like here or here. And then the next time I wake up, it's already doing this thing. So right now, this market is for swing traders, like pure swing traders. Like you should have already been holding from here, you know. Sunday when we Sunday when we did our webinar, I told you guys of um how they would fill this gap. For a while, I've been noticing that They don't have to pull all the way back in to fill gaps. You'll show up in New York, you'll notice that they just practically retest the previous day or previous session lows, and that's how they'll just fill the gap. And the reason why is we see gaps, right? That's just a jump in price. Wherever they decide to settle on price as far as transactions is how they'll just fill the gap, if that makes sense. It's like the market jumped, market open Sunday. This was all the contracts was settling for. This was the price where contracts were settling for. So in the next session, wherever discount that they can agree on is where they're going to just create price at. So for us, we're like, man, we'd love for, gaps to fill. It's not really up to us. We might even see today, all of a sudden, price comes back into this area. Why? It's just a repricing thing going on. It's like the powers that be are like, hey, um, let's bring price back into this point because I have a hot deal for 47,239. We have investors and institutions that want to buy in here. And they'll bring price back into discount, because the last time Friday was closed, this was where it was at. So it's interesting to look at the market this way and not just think about it as like it has to do this, it has to do that. You got to be a little bit dynamic. All right. So there's no entry right now for nothing. It's just good old price action before FOMC in the afternoon. We can also tell this afternoon, like if by 2 p.m. we might see a big jump, and then by 2:30 we might see a retracement. Last time we had FOMC, this is how US30 reacted. Let's go to a higher time frame. The morning was smooth. Price pulled back by 12 p.m. 2 p.m. came in, bow, took off, 2:30, pulled back in. I'm such a Caribbean. Look at my nice sound effects. And then they settled right down here for a little bit, and then we took off. We took off, right? Like you needed to have some sort of thought process of risk going into this type of trade, or you don't have to jump into uncertainty like this. You just wait for the next day where price can literally just come back and retest a low like that. And it's on its merry way. So let's talk about what when Jerome Powell gives results and says, hey, we're lowering interest rates. What does that mean? That's a good look for investors. That's a bullish announcement for investors. So um when price comes back to like a low, for example, the best way we can even take advantage of price is by playing the conservative game. Because you'll be scared to jump in. You'll be scared to jump in. I know many of you guys are waiting for a day like FOMC to pass your challenges, but it's the riskiest day to try and pass your challenges when there's the next day and the next day. So I hate being the voice of reason because it's almost like faith in churchgoers. Like, yeah, you come in for a good sermon, but you don't want to do better. Yeah. So many times I'm like making sure you guys don't do the wild things that you know you shouldn't do, but you're gonna need your own accountability to actually not do it. Because why would we be risking the account when we're right there. We're right there. It's the end of the week. It's the end of the month. No need to just jump in murky waters that you don't know what could happen from here. So let's be responsible adults and professionals and wait for the best price action that makes the most sense. All right. If price in the afternoon pulls back into discount, comes back in, retest London lows, that'll be good for us. That'll give us an opportunity at some point to get in for buys. So it doesn't, we don't have to trade right at 2 p.m. We don't have to trade at 2:30 if we don't see nothing that's clean. All right, guys. Let me update this chart right here for Wanda. Yeah, from the looks of this structure right here, I'm not gonna lie. This thing look, yeah, that's bullishness. That's a trend changing back around. So, but if there's just one candle that just blasts to the bottom, we just gonna have to wait a couple days, couple sessions to see, because we really need that structure to still be respected at 38.75 and such. That would be so clean. Because look at this. Let's say we get a second leg of that low, then we'll really have a very sturdy area of demand to buy from. So that could take a few days. I'd rather that than anything else. You know, when you're really looking at the structure, we saw that Friday, October 17th, boom, came back here the next Monday. Pay attention to this. For all this structure to have been created, it took Thursday, Friday, and Monday evening for the structure to finally be complete. So just think about that for a second. When you're looking for your opportunities, you're looking for great setups, and you just can't wait. Meanwhile, a great setup takes about a good 2 days, two retests, like two touches. That's why it's important to slow down, wait, slow down, wait. Even if you feel like you can't afford to, you're gonna have to afford it one way or the other. All right. So, boom, JD just joined. Let's recap a little bit because I wanted you to hear this. Entries. When you're looking at the market from a 1 hour time frame, we're looking for structure and days. For example, today is Wednesday. When we're looking at the session, we saw that Tuesday, 4 in the morning. That was London. Break and retouch happened Tuesday night in Asia. That's the higher time frame being secured. That's the higher time frame. They're building from that low right here. When you go to a 4 hour time frame, we can see the correlation. It's like, okay, the market rejected from this 4 hour structure, which is why when we drop down to the 1 hour, we're like, okay, now we're looking for the structure and how the sessions correlate. From this area, we see a break of structure, a retracement, which now confirms that this low is strong. When we get another break and retest again, if we were looking for an entry, this would not have been an issue to take an entry because now you get to figure out putting a stop loss under the low is a good probability to take a trade like this, expecting a new high because they retrace to make a higher low. Now, exit is really all about your risk to reward. Let's say you were risking 200 pips. You can tell in the next 4 hours, the market could give you at least 400 pips. That's a 1 to 2. As price gets closer to a high, for example, a previous supply zone, those are your areas of potential exit. And as it is getting closer and you're in profit, you either move your stop loss or you start to close partials as it gets closer to exit, because it's never a full guarantee that price is going to hit it unless you pay attention to where all these areas on the left are connecting, because price will have a magnet and an attraction for areas where it was touched the most. So that's why, like, when you're figuring out targets, you can tell why price made it here and then started rejecting. At least that would have been a pretty solid idea to take a trade. Now, when you're looking at higher time frames, it's really all about how far away from the structure you want to put your stop loss, because you can see that there's a reversal going on outside around that range. Putting the stop loss outside the range would always be best to survive the trade. So this is how we take trades on the higher time frame. We start to see the rejections nice and neat. Might take a few days, might take a few sessions, but as you notice the structure, the demand, for example, if you want to take a trade, you'll just put your stop loss outside of the structure. Also on the higher time frame, for example, the 4-hour time frame, you got to at least expect 4 candles for this market to move. So that's going to take at least 24 hours when you open a trade from the 4-hour time frame. Like, it might take a whole day or two for things to play out. As long as you sit in pretty outside of the smoke, outside of the noise, outside of the structure, you're good. But for you to survive the trade, you gotta go moderate, conservative, something that you are okay with. All right. So that's why 4-hour confirmations are very, very powerful. Yeah, price was selling off, but the minute we have a break of structure, all we waiting for is a retest. And then from the retest, and it will confirm whether that's strong enough for it to buy higher. Okay, I'm sure everybody needed a little refresher. But does that make sense, guys?
You're
Bet. JD, you hearing things? You good? You hear? Jeez. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I know it's a lot of scalpers when they jump on a Zoom call. They're like, let me jump here, see if I can catch some quick pips. Yeah. Buddy. It's not how it works. 9:35. Perfect 5 minutes after market open. Let's see how price is reacting on each side. Alrighty, let me drop down into the M5. Okay, pre-market's right here. Okay, cool. Okay, for my scalpers, this buy trade is pretty steady. Yep, that's a really nice buy right here. Nice little scalp. Go ahead and take that trade right here. We're going long. Stop loss. Stop loss is below this wick right here, 47,813. Yep, we're going for 100 points. Yeah, 47,986 TP. That should do us pretty well. All right, we're in buys. Okay. Okay. As we can see it, gold is retracing, which makes sense. This is Tuesday's highs, by the way, so they gunning for that. Oof. God damn. God damn. God damn. God damn, he done did it again.
बहुत खराब पकड़ा है ने 15 का मस्त पेट पकड़ा दे.
Natish,
No, sorry, hi. I'm sorry, Hans.
you in that buy?
No, sir, I missed it.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, I'm not going to
That
do
was a
anything
trick
crazy.
question. I wanted to see. Beautiful. Who's in that buy?
I'm trading with my eyes. I wasn't gonna trade today because of FOMC.
Okay, cool. That's cool too. That's cool too. Too. See, here's the thing. That's a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade.
Hans, I know you were saying something about gold. I know you mentioned it will be retracing. Is it going to come down for the previous day lows to sweep liquidity?
We'll wait to see if it does, because this is a retracement happening right now. Retracement happening right now. That's why I'm very much looking forward to see what happens from here with FOMC.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful retracement we're looking at. Good God. Good God Almighty. Oh, damn, Daniel. Back at it again. We live, baby. You know what it is. Let's get it.
Not damn Daniel.
Uh-huh. Had to bring that one back.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. More videos like this and a screen recording of it too. Okay, but god damn. Oh shit. Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. Oh my god. Oh my god. What a great call. Oh my god. Yo, please tell me you guys took this one. I called the signal. I called the signal.
it took a little bit. I took a little bit.
Sheesh. Oh Lord.
My goodness, I should have stayed.
Golly. Somebody left. Somebody is pissing themselves right now, leaving this webinar too early. Good God. Good God. The gun still works, apparently. Oh my God. That was beautiful. Still him, apparently. Wow. Guess. All right, I'm closing. Yeah, I see that candle right there. Yeah, I see you, buddy. You coming back, aren't you? Okay, my TP got hit by itself. Okay, great. All right. A nice scalp for the scalpers. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys see. Oh, O'Neal, brethren, what's going on, bro? How are your people, man?
Yo, big up yourself,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Well, I only heard from one and two, and not, I haven't heard from most people yet, so I'm still waiting.
Most
See,
of your folks are where again? St. Elizabeth or Kingston? Where?
Kingston and St. Elizabeth. I heard from the Kingston
Damn.
people, but not the St. Elizabeth people yet. So I'm figuring they're
Ah,
probably out of light and all that
Elizabeth
stuff.
always gets hit the hardest, though.
Yeah, bro, for sure. Always.
I gotta call a couple of my friends because, like, the 7 Day Adventist community is strong out there.
Right. Yeah, bro. It's a little tough right now, but we hanging in there.
Okay, good. Man,
So,
we haven't talked in a minute. At least it's good every time you show up. You see me
yes,
still hitting it out the park.
right. That's why I made a nice call just now too on the US30. Good
Yes,
vibes.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you,
Uh,
bro.
I'm only a gold trader, so
Yeah. And I like to show love to both, but I haven't traded US30 in a while. This was my first time since last Thursday that I took a trade for US30.
yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
that was beautiful. That was beautiful. We thank God. We thank God.
for sure.
Hmm. Okay. That was nice. No. What did I just do? Wow. Oh well, whatever.
All right, see you guys later.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, most of
Man,
you
thanks a
guys.
lot. I really appreciate
Thank you, bro.
this call.
I used to do this every day, but I got burnt out. I need to.
I
Yeah.
hear you. Thanks a lot,
No
and bye
problem.
everyone. Yep.
No problem. Wow. Okay. This was good. This was very good. Wow. Can't believe how well that one played out, but there will be a retracement. I do not condone anybody to hold that scalp. Be out of your positions if you're in that quietly. I know some of you guys are quiet assassins. Um, yeah, there might be a retracement. This thing moved fast. But let's check gold. How gold doing? Okay, baby girl, you pulling back? Cool, cool. That makes sense. Let's think about how price will play out in the afternoon. We have London right here. FOMC is notorious for returning back to like previous sessions. Let's say we pull back into here, or whatever the case is, or if by 2 p.m. we break out. If we break out, I'll be very, very happy. Why? Then I'll know like this retracement was the most that they were giving, and they might just settle between the ranges of 3,900 to buy back because we got a whole November, right? I need y'all to keep thinking this way, man. Yeah, today is FOMC. Yeah, I got to win the week. But what about November? I don't want y'all to look 2 months later in December and say, shit, had I not over leveraged, I would have still had an account to trade with in December. That's what I want y'all to slow down on. Let's win the year. Let's win the year, guys. Okay. Like, I really want y'all to start thinking this way. You walking into, some of y'all said, man, I want to learn how to trade. And it was your first year, it was your second year. But now you walk in, you married this skill set. And you ain't realize what long-term commitment feels like. I've been here since 2015. And things that I'm telling you is because shit, I wish sometimes I was thinking that way before it happened. You feel me? So when I tell y'all some things, I'm like, yo, I hate that it took a loss for me to have this this sermon in my mouth because I fucked up before. And I'm like, damn, why was I so laser focused on this specific day when I had a whole month? I had a whole month ahead of me. So think about stuff like that. Please, 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 please. You don't have to make your journey longer than it has to be. This is beautiful. Beautiful work. Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to call it for today. We'll be back at 145 just to see what's going on with the market. Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
All right. No problem, guys.
Thanks, Hans.
Of course.